All right, so the March tip is about writing with AI. I'm giving a number of presentations this month related to writing with AI, and I want to help people use these AI writing tools to support the writing and communication that we do at work. And the very important first thing to know is that these tools work best when you have your ideas first, okay? Now, just a brief little thing, as we all know, AI is essentially a data aggregator. It can look at a lot of data really fast, and it understands patterns very quickly from the data, and it can understand what the pattern is and then regenerate that pattern. So AI tools, all the ways we use them, are essentially pattern recognition and regeneration machines. Now, you can use pattern recognition and regeneration in a lot of different ways. When we use it for writing, there are some very important things to keep in mind, which is all of our understanding of language is based on patterns. And so we have root structures, various phrases in our language that many of us intuitively understand. Like in English, you have to say who you're talking about, then you can say what they're doing. That what they're doing contains information about when they're doing it, and then you can say what the result of that was. So English sentences are constructed subject, I, verb, go, object, or predicate piece. I go to the store. Most of our sentences are based on this same pattern. And so AI tools can replicate that pattern. They can read all the sentences that have ever been generated by humans. Haha! The tool now can replicate the patterns in our language and come up with somewhat new combinations based on the information that it's gathered, right? The information that it has access to in terms of how language functions. The difference here is that our AI tools do not yet have a conscience. They don't have a body. They don't have experience. They don't have value systems. They don't have things that they care about or want to accomplish. They don't have any desire at all. They're a tool that looks sophisticated but is essentially recreating things, maybe in a new way, but recreating things that already exist. When you are using these tools for writing, a lot of their suggestions are based on replicating patterns, what has already been done in the world. And while that can be useful, it also reduces the originality of your work. And here's the really important thing that I want you to understand. Your language is as unique to you as your fingerprint. Every time you speak, you are using your vocabulary built from where you grew up, your cultural background, who you interacted with, where you have traveled, what other languages you might speak, what you've studied, what you are an expert in, what your hobbies are. All of the things that make up you have affected the way that you use this pattern and system that we call language. And you use language to express things that are internal to yourself, right? Your ideas, your feelings, your desires, right? Things that you want to do. We use language to take things that are inside of ourselves and share them with others. AI doesn't have an inside. It doesn't have anything that it wants to accomplish. Its use of language is patterned, is part of the system, and it's replicating things that are already out there, but your use of language is unique and special to you. And so when we are using AI tools to write, we want to use them to support our language, but not to write instead of us. Because when you use AI to write instead of you, you are giving it control over how you express yourself. And there's a balance here. There are some things that we have templates for because we want to make sure that we're saying this in a way that has been tried and tested before us. So there are phrases that are common. There are sentence structures that are common that show up over and over. But if you're writing only only uses those common sentences, those things that everybody knows and hears all the time, then it doesn't sound like a person. And people want to do business with other people. So it's important that your writing sound like you wrote it. Some of the AI tools are more sophisticated at helping you do that than others. But what I find is that if I write a draft of my message first, I can ask AI for its analysis of that draft. What do you think about this? How is this going to make the other person feel? Is this going to work? Be aware that AI will always make suggestions, always, okay? Even if your writing is perfect, it will suggest how to change it. I have often asked AI, why did you make that suggestion? It's actually worse than what I wrote. And it'll say, oh, I'm sorry, it totally is worse, because it always will support your point of view, right? Totally is worse. I don't know why I made that change. I'm programmed to make changes. So just keep in mind, its suggestions are not necessarily better, but they are something you may not have thought of before. So I want to encourage you to think through your interaction with the AI writing tools. Does this sound like me? Is this something I would say? Is it something that makes sense? Is it something that is improving my language, or is it just substituting for the sake of substitution? It will always give you feedback. It will always give you changes, because that's what it's programmed to do. But you know how you use language, and you need to be the person who decides whether it sounds like something you would write. So use it to help improve your grammar, right? You can use it, spell check, grammar check, whatever. Use it to give you suggestions and feedback, but just like a person, just like you would with a human, if somebody gives me feedback, I'm not gonna just do what they tell me. I'm gonna listen to their feedback and think about whether it feels like it makes sense to me. That change is interesting, right? Thanks for your feedback. That change is interesting. Let me think about that. That change is a good one. I agree with that. That change does not get at what I'm trying to get at. And we make judgments about the feedback that we receive. Please make the same judgments about the AI tool. It is not smarter than you. It just has access to a lot more information at one time. But the language that you use should still sound as unique to you as your fingerprint.